warm welcome to one and all present here. Honorable Chairman and Founder Trustee Dr. Harishchandra Mishra Sir, respected Trustee Shri Ashish Mishra Sir and Shri Aditya Mishra Sir, Dean Dr. Sunita Srivastava Ma'am, Director Dr. A.S. Suresh Iyer Sir, Registrar Dr. Jayanti Ma'am, our esteemed guests, respected professors and the new batch of PGDM 24-26. We welcome you all to the grand inauguration of the PGDM batch 24-26. I, Nidhi Guraria, and my co-host Tanvi Kadam will be taking you through the event today. To mark the beginning of the event, we request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We request everyone to kindly take your seats.
As we all know, Goddess Saraswati symbolizes knowledge and wisdom. Lighting the lamp stands for optimism and enlightenment. We request Dean Ma'am, Director Sir to escort our honorable dignitaries for lighting the lamp. We request everyone to kindly rise for the same.
We request everyone to kindly take your seats. We are honored to celebrate the completion of the Prabandhan program, a comprehensive 15-day orientation for our incoming batch 24-26 of PGDM. The program featured insightful guest speakers, mentoring sessions, and a variety of engaging activities, including team-building exercises, an outbound trip, and sessions focusing on well-being, sustainability, and creative thinking. Through this meticulously curated program, we strive to equip our new batch with the foundational knowledge, essential skills, and a strong sense of community to embark on a successful academic experience. Can we have a round of applause for the new batch and the successful completion of Prabandhan?
To get started, we would like to invite our ASPM Director, Dr. A.S. Suresh Iyer, to address us all. It is our pleasure to introduce Sir to you. Dr. A.S. Suresh Iyer is a marketing and finance professional and an operational generalist. With strong leanings in marketing, commercial finance and accounts, SBU concept, profit center concept, Sir has 24 years of intensive exposure to sales, distribution, retail and marketing, commercial finance and accounts across varied industries and geographies. Specializes in consumer durables and retail. Sir has more than 12 years of experience in teaching, research, and administrative leadership roles, including NAC, UGC, NBA, AACSD accreditation, and IQAC audit in one of the top-notch B school in India. Dr. Iyer sir, passion lies in mentoring the students of the next generation to become industry ready in this VUCA and BANI world through teaching and research. Sir has established his position as an industry leader through 35 published research papers in retail, distribution, consumer behavior, and branding. 8 of these papers are now being incorporated as a part of curriculum of various courses in marketing specialization. He has also mentored over 100 master students in their thesis, which have accumulated in few publications. Requesting you, sir, to kindly address us.
Yeah, now that we are in academia, we don't find ourselves comfortable behind the podium. We have this tendency of using the stage. A very good morning and a warm welcome to the new batch of PGDM students who are entering our institute. A warm welcome once again to all of you all. At the outset, I would first like to thank our Honorable Chairman and Founder Trustee, Dr. Harishchandra Mishra ji, our Trustee Ashish Mishra ji, and our Trustee Aditya Mishra ji, and particularly Harishchandra sir for creating such a phenomenal institution. It's not easy to build an institution of such stature overnight. So I think we are all here to enjoy the success of the institution which has been built by our chairman. So our thanks to the chairman who has always encouraged us to make our institution as contemporary as possible. I will be failing in my duty if I am not welcoming both our senior industry specialists who have taken time out of their busy schedule to be with you. I think it's one of the most opportune moments for you to be able to be in the presence of such luminaries from the industry. Thank you, Yugal sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule and being part of our inauguration. And I'm sure our students will be motivated by your presence. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you, sir. Mr. Vijay Chandok sir, again, needless to say, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, particularly on a Saturday. And that's the only time probably you might get some breather in industry, but you have made it possible to be here. Thank you very much, sir, for that. So I will not spend too much time. All we are trying to say is that the past 2 weeks has been a mini roller coaster rider for you. That's only was the preview of what you're going to go through for the next 2 years, right? The Pramandan was carefully curated program where you were able to get of how things are going to move way forward. We got like some of the compares mentioned that eminent speakers from industry, you got a lot of dimensions and perspectives about how things are going to change. Any PGDM program or an MBA program can be relevant only if it is aligned to the industry. So our best attempt is to see that whatever we do, we try and align it to the industry. One starting point is we have luminaries from the industry and coming and talking to you. Other than that, we are also trying to ensure that we curate our program in such a way that you get maximum alignment to the industry. So therefore, we are moving to trimester system from this batch onwards because again, trimester system is completely intensive. 3 months, every 3 months you'll be having something, not only every 3 months, during the course of 3 months you'll be having multiple activities. So both in the classrooms and outside the classrooms. So be ready for the bigger roller coaster ride which you're going to have for the next 2 years. But having said that, there is a reason why we did that, because that's how industry is moving. It is becoming very dynamic. We are already talking about Industry 5.0, where we are moving beyond automation. We are also talking about robotics and other stuff. So new things are happening. So how do we skill yourselves to be relevant in the new set of things? So therefore, that's what, as educationists, we have taken, Dr. Srita ma'am and me, we have taken this responsibility of trying to mentor this Gen Z to face the corporate world. So without further ado, I would just like to once again thank each one of you for being here. Thank you. A warm welcome to the PGDM batch once again. And thank you very much. You can take it.
Thank you, sir. Moving on. A guest of honor on this special day is Mr. Vijay Chandak, sir, MD and CEO, ICICI Securities. It is a pleasure to introduce sir to all. Sir is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of ICICI Securities Limited from May 2019 and has been with the group over 30 years. Prior to the current assignment, Sir served as an Executive Director on the board of ICICI Bank. Sir also served as a Director on boards of ICICI Bank UK PLC Limited, ICICI Bank Canada Limited, Eurasia Limited, and was the Chairman of the ICICI Investment Management Company Limited. During his years at ICICI Bank, Sir was responsible for the international banking, small and medium-sized enterprises businesses, global markets, and commercial banking businesses. Sir also served the bank in the retail banking group, rural and agriculture group, and the corporate banking group over the years. Vijay sir was a member of the advisory committee of NSE, BSE, and NSDL, and is a member of the secondary markets advisory committee constituted by SEBI. Sir is currently a co-chairman of the Capital Market Committee of FICCI and on the expert panel of ICICI Prudential AMC Real Estate Business. Sir holds a master's degree of Mumbai University in Management Studies from Narsi Monji University of Management Studies, Mumbai. Sir also holds a bachelor's degree in Mechanical Engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, formerly ITBHU. In 2017, Vijay sir was conferred with a Distinguished Alumni Award from the NMIMS University. Can we have a round of applause for sir? Vijay sir, we request you all to kindly address us.
Thank you for that very kind introduction. Thank you for having me come and address and speak to all of you this morning. At the outset, I would like to, first of all, sincerely thank the chairman of the trustees, the board of trustees, who have set up such a magnificent infrastructure and such a magnificent setup for all of you to come here and partake in your program, educational program. I also want to, acknowledge and thank the directors, the dean. I'm sure there are faculty members here. You need me to switch to this? Is this better? Yeah. All the faculty members, a very good morning to all of you. I think apart from that, we have sitting around here all bright faces. I'll really like to wish a very good morning to all the future leaders of India. I'm actually very thrilled to be standing here talking to you, such talented bright young men, and I always feel energized when I'm amongst young people, and that's the reason I said this is a Saturday well spent. Today is an important day for you because in a way it marks the commencement of your next phase of life. And on a day like this, I want to share a few thoughts which I hope will inspire you, will guide you in your times ahead. So first of all, let me congratulate you for having chosen to invest in educating yourself. I think it's a great, wise investment. I also want to applaud and I would say acknowledge the contributions that your parents might have made. This is not a cheap program, this is an expensive program. Getting you to this place, there have been a lot of sacrifices along the way. So I think take a moment to acknowledge their sacrifices and contributions. And this decision that you have taken is actually putting you on a path to become leaders of tomorrow that will shape the future of whatever you do, whether it's starting a company, working for a company, the departments that you do, the society that you live in, and perhaps some of you would also go on to impact the nation. So you're set ahead for very, very exciting times. So as I stand here today, I'm actually reminded of my own days as a student. You saw my introduction. It was more than 30 years back when I started my journey as a student, just like you. I had completed my engineering, after which I worked for 2 years. I think some of you probably would have a similar profile. I worked for the ITC group, and after that, I joined my MBA program. Things were very different back then. And if there's one thing, if I were to pick on what probably would have been common, was perhaps some of you, not all of you, some of you may be having some butterflies in your stomach because you're starting, in anticipation of your excitement of times ahead, what is going to happen, what should I do. I certainly had when I started. That, I suppose, is the only thing common. Otherwise, everything is different. India in those days was very small. The country was pretty small. And when I reflect back on those days, during the course of my program, and also, I would say the first few years of my working life, I came across something called GDP. I came across something called per capita GDP. I came across something called growth rates of the country and GDP and so on and so forth. I'm sure you started hearing all this stuff already. That time I didn't understand what it meant. What is the significance of all this? But over time, I realized one nice, simple way to think about all of these numbers is that if these numbers are growing, if these numbers are good, if these numbers are getting bigger, life is getting better. That's a simple equation. Therefore, I will highlight some of these numbers for you which used to be then, just to contrast how things are different and what it means for you as you move forward. So when I joined my MBA program, this was in the early 90s, India's GDP, anybody can guess what it would have been? I'm sure all of you know what is India's GDP today, right? What is it today? Yeah, it's in the ballpark of $4 trillion. 30 years back, it was just $270 billion. That's it. Per capita GDP, you know what it is today? Per capita GDP is almost close to 3,000 US dollars, somewhere in that range. Back in the day, it was just about 300 US dollars, 315 US dollars to be precise. India's position in the pecking order used to be 16 in terms of size. Today, we all know, right? It's been touted about that we are at the 5th slot. So as I stand here and look into the future, peer into the future, and projected for the next, let's say, 20, 25 years, I think it is almost certain that next few years we are going to become the number 3 slot in terms of GDP, going to be overtaking Germany, Japan shortly. And the GDP, the per capita GDP, the growth rates are all going to, certainly ensure that whatever life you have led so far, even your parents have led so far, you're going to have a far superior life than all of that. So good times are ahead. So the point I want to make to all of you is, as you stand here, first and foremost, feel great that you're at the right time, at the right place. And use this opportunity where the country is standing right now. Use this opportunity on the platform that you're getting from a management education in this, and dream really big. I wish I had dreamed bigger than what I did back then. Dream really big. As you get into life and your journey ahead, you will realize that not many things are under your control. You probably have had a more protected environment up till now, and many things were under your control. Obviously, as you've grown, you realize that not all things are under your control, but that will become even more havocy, if I can use that word, as you move out. And let me tell you what happened to me when I started my life back in the 90s. I had a early 90s to 2000, I had a stellar run in my company. And in, I think, 7 years, I got 5 promotions. I was feeling great. I felt that I'm some great guy, getting recognized and rewarded for some great contribution that I did. And then life slowed down for a few years, 3-4 years, life slowed down. I couldn't understand what was happening to me. And then we had entered the early 2000s, 2003. 2003 to 2007, everything I was doing turned into gold. Again, I zoomed up, and by the end of that period, I entered the board of the bank, which was, I was in my early 40s in those days, which I thought was great. And I thought, I'm some super great guy. Having spent 10 years, 12 years after that, and when I reflect back on that whole journey of mine, I would say that when I saw that first few years of my life, why did I grow so fast? I think one of the factors, there were obviously many factors, but one of the factors that is really stuck in my head is that, that period was such when India as a country was actually liberalizing, was opening up, the economy was becoming expanded, and not just that, our company, the place that I was working in, was moving its form factor. It used to be a developmental financial institution in those days, and it was becoming a retail bank. You all know ICICI is a retail bank today, a large retail bank. We never used to lend to retail customers in those days. There was no retail banking. It was transforming. And when it was transforming, it threw open so many opportunities for us that it was almost like we got sucked up into the hierarchy because of the opportunity. So I realized, boss, you just happened to be at the right time, at the right place. Nothing so great that you have done. You've just been fortunate. You've been lucky. And then again, I saw things slowed down. And when I reflect back, that was a period you would have heard of, probably some of you would have heard of something called the dot-com burst that happened. That whole phase was a little tough, the 2000 to 2002-03. And then things started improving from 2003 to 2007. Even if you look back, I think the economy did extremely well, the country did very well. And again, I could see my career zoom ahead. Right time, right place, right context supersedes everything else. So don't take yourself too seriously. Of course, you have to work hard. You have to have the right attitude. You can't give up all of that. But you also need to know that a lot of what is going to happen to you is the context in which you are there, being there at the right time and the right place. So remember that success in the real world, it is not merely about what you know. You will learn a lot in the MBA program. But it's about finally how you go and apply that in a real life context. It is about your attitude. We recruit a lot of youngsters. I would recruit someone with the right mindset and attitude over someone who's extremely knowledgeable. I do not really care so much about someone who has a wrong attitude but great knowledge, because he will find it very difficult to work in an organizational context. So developing that right attitude, when I say right attitude, positive attitude, a constructive attitude, it's about your ability to think critically. It's about building your ability to solve problems. Use your knowledge, use your skills, use your learning to see how you can solve real life problems. That's the application of your knowledge is the real sort of thing that companies look for. It would be your ability to work with diverse teams, how you're able to collaborate. All that supersedes all the intelligence that you may have. If you're not able to work with people, if you're not able to work with teams, you're not valuable to the industry. You'll find it difficult to grow in the sector. So your ability to connect with people, your ability to work with teams becomes extremely important. And let me tell you that your MBA program is going to give you a kind of a protected environment where you can actually practice all this. Some of you may think, assignments given to you, projects given to you, you have to do internships given to you. I just want to get this done away with. Tick box. Don't even do that. Don't worry about the outcome. Worry about the process. Worry about the learning that you're going to put. Think about the application. Whatever you have read, studied, etc., how are you applying that in these assignments? Please take the initiative to participate in all of this with full enthusiasm, because you will never ever get a protected environment that you are getting in a college. To practice, to succeed, and to fail. It's okay to fail. Don't worry about it. Don't get too hassled if things are not going well. But certainly pick up the learnings out of it. Pick up the learnings out of your successes, pick up the learnings out of the failures. I think that's the more important part. So what I would say is that embrace every opportunity that comes your way to display these qualities that I just mentioned about. Another aspect which I feel you should start developing early on in your college days is your networking. Meet as many people as possible. Don't sort of restrict yourself to your familiar territory. You're just coming, all of you are coming from different areas. I'm told that the last 15 days you've already had a rock rolling time. A lot of team building work has already happened. It is not, for fun alone that this was done. It was of course for fun, but it was actually meant to get you people more comfortable to know each other, so that this is the team which is going to be working together over the next 2 years. So try to get to know as many people as possible. Don't keep forming groups with the same team. Keep yourself rotating so that you're working with multiple people. Test yourself with different people. You could actually do extremely well with one group, but you may struggle to do well with another group. It doesn't matter, but go through the process. There will be a learning there. In an organizational context, you'll not have a chance to choose your groups. You will just be put into something and you'll have to perform in whichever group you are. So I think testing yourself in a situation like that will stand you in good stead. Try and seek out mentors. You're going to get mentors within the college. Try and build networks in the industry. Some of you will be able to do it, particularly during your internships. Keep in touch with them. Never underestimate the power of perseverance. Perseverance, resilience, and patience. I think it's very painful. You'll have failures, you'll have struggles through, but don't give up. Don't let the perseverance drain away. Don't let that energy come down. Believe that you are going to get it right the next time. So I'll repeat the point that I've been saying, that the road to success is rarely smooth, and setbacks are inevitable. And it's the way you handle with yourself during these setbacks actually determines the true character and determination that one has, which will help you in the real world as you move ahead. As I said, stay focused on your goals. I also mentioned at the beginning, dream big. When you dream big, you're wanting to move from point A to point Z. It may look very daunting to begin with, but you please understand you don't have to get to point A to point Z in one go. Split your journey, split your dreams into several sub-components, A to B, B to C, C to D, and so on. And you'll find that breaking dreams into smaller steps, breaking your ambition into smaller steps helps you move forward and helps you tap yourself on the back every time you move from A to B, B to C, and so on. So in closing, I would say that I have confidence that every one of you sitting here, some of them probably who couldn't attend today, has the potential to achieve greatness. Believe in yourself. Harness all the knowledge and skills and try to convert that into practice during your MBA program. And then finally, whatever roles that you choose to do, whatever disciplines you choose to do, whatever path you choose to make, try to make a difference to the setup that you are getting into. Thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing, and wish you all the very, very best as you move ahead in your next phase of life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an inspiring session. You have truly enlightened all of us. We now request Dean Ma'am to extend a token of gratitude to Sir. Moving on, our chief guest and keynote speaker on this special day is Yugal Sikri Sir, Managing Director, RPG Science Limited. It is a pleasure to introduce Sir to you all. Yugal Sikri Sir, in a career planning more than 40 years, has held several senior leadership positions at MNCs like GSK, Warner Lambert, Pfizer, and Novartis, led Embassy and Indian Region Head CEO and Global Life Commercial Function. Sir was invited to join the board of RPG Life Sciences as an independent director. He was requested to take over the operating role of its MD, a position he is currently holding. Sir has led several business turnarounds. The later is that of RPG Life Sciences, leading to 9 times jump in its market cap. Sir has been invited to speak at several pharma industry platforms like CPHI, CII, IPC, IDEMA, CNBC, TV18, ET Now, CEO Panel, McKinsey, CEO Forum, Pharma Leaders Roundtable, CIO Summits. Sir has been on McKinsey Pharma 2020 publication steering committee. He is also currently the Vice Chairperson of the Economic Times Global Sustainability Alliance, SDGs Leadership Council. Keen to build industry-academia partnership, Yugal Sir also led management education at India's top pharma management institute, NMIMS, as its chairman, coaching next generation on leadership, strategy, innovation. Sir is also a member of the Board of Studies and mentor of the School of Business Management programs at NMIMS University. Sir is considered a thought leader on innovation. He is mentor to high-impact digital health venture at RPG and the Government of India NMIMS initiative, Atal Incubation Center. He is also on the board of NMIMS Incubation Center as an independent director. Can we have a huge round of applause for the sir? Sir, we request you to kindly address us all.
as I stand here to speak to all of you, I'm going through personally and lots of flashbacks, a lot of inspirations. You all have gone through what Vijay sir spoke to you. A young man, he doesn't look to be what his CV actually indicates to us. And he actually disclosed his secret also in the beginning, how he moved up. And I also remember the time when I was sitting there, when you are sitting, and the inspirational personalities like Vijay Chandok came and spoke to us. Years later, decades later, I also got an opportunity to be on the side of the institute. You would have seen my profile. And I got the opportunity to invite some 20-odd industry leaders to come and speak to people like you. And sitting there as the chairman of the program and chairman of the whatever the stuff which has been told, I again got inspired by the leaders who became the leaders and how they became the leaders. Friends, thank you everyone. Thank you the chairperson of the Aditya Birla Institute. Thank you Sunita ma'am. Thank you Mr. Dr. Iyer, and thank you the faculty and all of you for giving me the opportunity to come over here and speak to you. Please listen me out. There is a bit of my personal story, as Vijay put his story. I also have a little bit of personal story to share with you, and a few points, few take-home messages which I would like you to carry. First thing, the personal story. My personal story is, I'm not talking about Steve Jobs or Narayan Murthy. They are big people. We are all commoners. We come from very, very different state of society. And, but all of us, how we actually struggle through to pave our way in the society, in the organizations, in the industries we belong to. And you might relate me with you, and that's why I thought I must narrate my story to you. Years back, when I was in the school, I had a constant pressure on me that if I don't stand first in the class, I will not be able to pursue my studies because my parents could not afford to put me into the school. Only the topper in the entire class of 6 sections, which means 360 students, will get the free ship in the tuition fee, and we get free books, and then only and that is the only privilege available to the topper. And I was under constant pressure that I need to work hard to be there. And that's how I moved from 6th standard to 12th standard. And every single year under pressure that I have to stand first so that I can get the scholarship and I can move forward. And then comes the guidance for what do you do. Coming from a very small town, I had no guidance. There were no WhatsApp University available. There was no digital available. There were no mobile available to you so that you can do net search and you can know where the opportunities are. So finally, you were figuring out what to do. Medicine, you have to have some kind of a entrance test, and for which you have to again pay fee. You just can't afford. And finally, somebody told me there's a good pharmacy course available. You should join the pharmacy course. So I, cutting the long story short, I joined the pharmacy course in Delhi and passed my B.Pharm, and then somebody said there's master's course available. So incidentally, I also became part of, I went to the Banaras Hindu University in the BHU IT, that time it was called, now it is BHU IIT, and got myself a degree of Masters of Pharmacy. And then started the real situation. I did not have anybody known to me in Mumbai, and I was told the pharmaceutical industry is located in Mumbai. 80% or 90% of the pharmaceutical industry is located in Mumbai, and I need to travel to Mumbai now. I traveled to Mumbai, and no money in my pocket. So my brother was staying in Nasik, so I would have the Panchvati Express in the morning, which leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. Will take you to Mumbai at 10 o'clock. In the evening, it'll take you back from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'll be back in, so that I am not staying in the hotel. I'm not staying anywhere else. And I must find a job. Morning to evening, I'll have a briefcase with me with my own degree certificates and my thesis of M.Pharm with me. And I'm searching the job. I created a map of Mumbai and got the addresses. And one odd day, and again, it's like a Bollywood story. One odd day, I was in a hurry. My train was late. At the other station, I moved to another train, and somebody, I asked him how long it will take to reach Mumbai, to reach Mulund. And somebody looked at me and said, my sir, you are not in the right train. You are in a western track train. You should have boarded a central track train. And then I said, oh my God, I don't know anybody. Why should I waste my day? I looked at my map, and I found that in the map, there is a company called Unicam, which is located at Jogeshwari. I got down at Jogeshwari, started walking. On the left-hand side, I saw a board of FDC Limited. FDC, I said, yeah, FDC is also a pharma company. And I knew a brand called Electral, which was very commonly used as a electrolyte replenishment therapy. And I got in there, and nobody will allow me to enter. So when I had to, I used to say that I'm coming from the training and placement office of BHU. And so somebody says sophisticated, something different he's talking about, let him go in. I entered there. To cut the long story short, I got my first job. Because there was a vacancy at that point in time, and I was at the right time, at the right place, which Vijay just described to us. And friends, then I thought I must do my MBA, because I have not done my MBA, and then became, my journey went to Jamnalal Bajaj. From Jamnalal Bajaj, I did my MBA, and then became part of the pharmaceutical industry. And finally, I felt very nice. I felt very nice that I superannuated formally from the industry as the CEO of India's largest pharmaceutical business of the country. Now, the purpose of the whole story was not to tell you. Unfortunately, today Narayan Murthy is not here, Steve Jobs is not here. A very commoner like me is standing in front of you. And I just wanted to tell you a few points now, which perhaps could be take-home messages for you. One is, throughout my life, I felt that कुछ बनना है. क्या बनना है मालूम नहीं है. कुछ तो बनना है. कुछ तो बड़ा करना है. And that's something which kept hitting me all the time. I would get inspired. People like Vijay Chandok will come and talk. I'll get inspired by them. I will see somebody, how he has become big. I'll get inspired by them. But that was the genesis of a seed that kuch to karna hai. I have to become something big. And that was not defined. I wasn't clear मुझे क्या करना है, कैसे बड़ा बनना है. But that was my North Star. That was my antato gatva. That was my inspiration that kuch to banna hai. As I got along into my job, I started understanding what the business is. Then I started forming up. I started my career in the R&D, in the research and development lab of GSK, and first with FTC. That's the first job I got. And then within 6 months, I moved to GSK because there was a newspaper advertisement. And thereafter, till the time I'm here now, I have never applied for a job. I was so singularly lucky that for every single job, I got invited and I had to go on every single transition I had. Trust me, I can have a hand on my heart and tell you, my friends, the youngsters who are sitting over here, for whom this is the first day of your MBA program, that every single time the package which I got, the CTC which I got from the company which offered me the job was, wow, do I really deserve all this? First change which I moved from GSK to Park Davis after 15 years, when they gave me the CTC, so naive I was that I went and said, is this my letter or is there an exchange of letter? I wanted to be sure because I was moving out from a company where I was 14 years. Professor Amel Roy is here. He was also part of GSK at that point in time. So I wanted to be sure कि मेरा ही लेटर है, अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर, या किसी और का जो सीटीसी तो नहीं है जो मुझे दिया जा रहा है, क्योंकि मैं ये कंपनी छोड़ दूंगा तो गड़बड़ होगा. And finally they say, yes, this is your package. I had a Maruti 800 given to me as grade 1 manager in GSK. Amal will agree. Here, when I got into the Park Davis job, I was given Contessa, which was a long car, and which the directors in GSK used to have. And I got that car. Oh, I said, my God, what's happening? And that itch at the back of my mind, कुछ तो बड़ा बनना है, started getting clearer, started getting crystallized. I got into R&D. I realized, no, the life ahead is sales marketing में होना चाहिए. R&D will not take you where you want to go. You must be on the front end. फिर कीड़ा लग गया कि अभी sales and marketing में जाना है. And I remember there was a gentleman called Humayun Dhanrajgir. He was a leading personality of pharmaceutical industry, and unfortunately he just passed away a couple of months back. Unfortunately he passed away. And I was in R&D, and I went to him and told him, sir, I want to move to sales and marketing. Would you transfer me to sales and marketing? Because I wasn't able to get the job in sales and marketing because of my background was in R&D. So who will give you R&D guy a sales and marketing job? But then behind the screen, I knew my weakness. I worked the sales and marketing department off without the knowledge of my boss, worked on such certain sales and marketing project, generally the market research project, after I used to come out of my R&D department job and work on that with those kinds of all the work which I did, got that printed, and I realized that the sales and marketing team were able to use this. I went to Mr. Dhanrajgir and told that I want to get into a sales and marketing job, and there was a gentleman called Suresh Kanwar. He was the head sales and marketing. So this gentleman tells me that I will not be able to decide, but I will speak to Suresh Kanwar, who was that time in Singapore, and then only I can confirm to you. I told him I've got 3 jobs with me. All are R&D jobs. None is sales and marketing job. In this company, if you give me the sales and marketing job, I will be with you. And finally, next day morning, the R&D office, R&D lab used to be in Thane. I got a call from the secretary of Mr. Dhanrajgir. I am quoting the name because here Amal Roy is sitting. He will be able to relate with those names, called Sylvia Coelho. And she gave me a call in the morning in Thane and said that Mr. Dhanrajgir wants to see you. I come back to Worli to just hear one sentence, Mr. Sikri, you're not to go out anywhere. We have decided to put you in sales and marketing. And that's the story. I moved to sales and marketing. And then I was being given the job of product manager. Majority of you, when you join, you think I should become a product manager. Trust me, I wasn't mad. कुछ तो आगे बढ़ना है, कुछ तो आगे करना है was the thought at the back of my mind. I said, no, I will like to do a sales job, a medical representative job. I had spent 4.5, 5 years in R&D in Glaxo already. I had moved to a good enough position to go back to the medical representative or sales job was a foolish thing as per many people at that point in time. But I thought that if I have to move up in life, sales and marketing guys are generally the guys who move up. I must have hands-on experience. If I have to drive the business of the company, how will I drive the business if I do not know how to do the selling? And finally, they were telling me that you become the product manager. I said, no, I want to hold the bag of medical representative and will move out and give me the job of medical representative. ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक लोगों ने देखा बेवकूफ है. मूर्ख है. प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर का जॉब मिल रहा है और ये सेल्स, ये मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव की जॉब की बात कर रहा है. एंड माई थॉट वॉज, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू बी द मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव. कुछ तो आगे बढ़ना है. आई वॉज गेटिंग क्लियरर कि बिजनेस हेड बनना है, क्लस्टर हेड बनना है, किसी दिन सीईओ बनना है, और उधर पहुंचने के लिए आई मस्ट हैव the how do we sell the product, and that's how I landed up doing my sales job. I did sales job in Mumbai for about a year, and then I requested them to put me to the interior, some interior jobs where the medical representatives go and talk, because the way of working is very different. So I requested them to take me to another place. That they took me to Nagpur. I worked in Nagpur again as a medical representative. And then I went and requested them, sir, now you can take me to the job of product manager. And they were kind enough to take me to the job of product manager. Then product manager, group product manager, marketing manager, business unit head. The journey then kicked off very, very well. And finally, cutting the long story short, I worked for the best of the pharmaceutical companies of the world, top 5. I worked for GSK, I worked for Novartis, I worked for Pfizer. None of the places was 1 or 2 years. Everywhere it was minimum of 6 years I worked and learned, picked up the stuff from each company, and finally I was very, very happy when I got the invite to lead the country's leading pharmaceutical company called Ranbaxy as CEO for India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal business of theirs. And that's the journey which I followed. As the luck will have it, I superannuated from Ranbaxy as the global head of commercial functions, which was the first global pharmaceutical company of the country of India, and I headed the global function there. And superannuated, came back here. As the life has all the surprises, I got an invite from NMIMS University to lead the School of Pharmacy and Technology Management, School of Business Management, management programs. And I landed up there, learned the bit of academics there. They got the AACSB approval, accreditation when I was part of that program, learned a lot, designed courses. Luck will have it, I got an invite from RPG to join their company as an independent director. Again, as the luck will have it, club keeps on giving the surprises. I got the request to take over the role of managing director after 10 years of superannuation. And now it is the 5 years, and I'm so very happy to share with you that in the last 5 years, this company, which was at the bottom of the performance, financial performance, today has increased its market cap by 9 times. What were the few take-home lessons for the youngsters who are sitting in this room? What are the few take-homes? पता नहीं है क्या करना है, but कुछ करना है, कुछ तो बड़ा बनना है. In the time when I was there, we didn't have digital, we didn't have internet, we didn't have WhatsApp. All of that were not available. Now everything is available just here. You can get any information what you want, you're available here. You are much more illuminated today to decide what's your North Star. Where do you want to be? Create that. You may not have perfect picture of it, but as Vijay mentioned, dream big. Think, where do I want to go? And lo and behold, trust me, if you all have studied a book called The Secret, it tells you, but there is a filmy dialogue also, Shah Rukh Khan's dialogue. Do you remember? Pura jahan bana deta hai. Anybody? वो dialogue याद नहीं है? If you think everything around the world paves a way for you to achieve, yes, say. नहीं, मैंने सोचा शाहरुख खान की मूवी भी अच्छी चल रही है अभी. वो तो हार ही नहीं मान रहा. He's another hero to take some inspiration from. So my friends, what is the point I was talking? Let me see whether you're listening or not listening. हाँ, देखा मैडम ने बोला पूरी कायनात अरे इधर आओ, भाग के आओ, भाग के आओ, come here, come here.
किसी चीज़ को पूरी शिद्दत से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हें उसे मिलाने की साजिश में लग जाती है.
Thank you. Vijay sir, she remembered. Young generation, she remembered the dialogue of किसी भी चीज़ को शिद्दत से चाहोगे तो पूरी कायनात आपकी हेल्प करेगी. The book Secret indicates that there are electromagnetic waves in the universe which we can't see. If my son is in US and in Boston, and if I call him up, he gets the call immediately. How is that? There's no connectivity. This is all electromagnetic waves in what we can't see, and there are different electromagnetic waves, amplitude for positive thinking that catches if you are a positive thinker and you eventually achieve. That's the scientific truth. So positive thinking, high thinking will actually help you to pave the way where you want to reach. So first thing is think big. Dream big, as Vijay sir mentioned. Dream big. Think big. And the journey starts today. You might not be fully clear of what I want to achieve, but start thinking big. Take every inspiration which comes in your way, every real life experience comes in your way, to think big. That's the point number one I want to mention to you today. Second point, MBA program. I've been part of the MBA program myself. I have the opportunity to redesign 60 courses there in the MBA program. So I understand what MBA actually means. My friends, it gives you lots and lots and lots of dots. Lots and lots of dots. धंधे में आपको प्रोडक्ट बेचना है या सर्विस मैन्युफैक्चर करना है, और उसके लिए कस्टमर ढूंढना है. प्रोडक्ट सर्विस से कस्टमर लिंकेज इज व्हाट द इंडस्ट्री इन द कंपनी डज, एंड उसके लिए आपको धंधे फिनांस चाहिए, लोग होते हैं तो एचआर चाहिए, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करना है, सेलिंग मार्केटिंग करना है तो ऑपरेशंस चाहिए, माल कस्टमर तक पहुंचाना है तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चाहिए. Everything which is pertaining to business is actually done in company. Here for 2 years, you will understand those points, because any MBA program has to have these specific functions, these specific subjects. इसको आप 12th स्टैंडर्ड में जो पढ़ा या 10th स्टैंडर्ड में जो पढ़ा कि आपको फिजिक्स पढ़ लिया या ट्रिग्नोमेट्री पढ़ ली तो कभी यूज ही नहीं होगा. In this MBA program, every single thing which is being taught to you would be used in real life. So don't take this to just clear the, I heard from sir that he's indicating now we'll have trimester. So trimester को clear करना है, बस उसके बाद भूल जाना है. बिल्कुल नहीं. I can tell you that every single course which is being taught to you in an MBA program is generating a lot of dots for you. You must, in fact, I used to tell my MBA student when I was a part of the institute that कोई भी कोर्स लो उसमें से 5-6 कौन से पॉइंट्स हैं जो आप एक नोटबुक में लिख करके रख लो, जो you will be able to make use later. And how will you know you will make use of it later? By just when you go for the internship, if you are ready with that list, then you will ask real life, यहाँ पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या होता है, ऑपरेशन सर ने मुझे कुछ बताया था, सेलिंग मार्केटिंग वाले सर ने बताया था, टारगेट ऑडियंस कुछ होती है, कुछ पोजीशनिंग होती है, कुछ सेगमेंटेशन होता है, ये सब क्या होता है. जब जा रहे हो तो रियल लाइफ में यू हैव अ कंपनी अवेलेबल, वॉक अक्रॉस टू पीपल and learn from them. I think you'll be able to understand the meaning behind the dots which were covered here in the management education. So MBA is a huge enabler for you to have an advanced perspective of the company where you're going to enter, provided you think it that way. Provided you don't take this as only clearance of the exam or anything of that kind. And if you have that attitude, I'm very clear that you will be able to very clearly compete with anybody else who has not done MBA, because he doesn't know that perspective which you will get in the program here. While doing so, Vijay sir mentioned that, and I'm repeating this, is networking. Any professor comes here, any industry guy comes here, anybody who is linked to the industry, go across to him and talk to him. So that what you are being taught here, you can see some relevance, some understanding there. That's very, very critical for you. And then only you will enjoy this program. Otherwise, this will become yet another trigonometry, which was never used in life. At least I didn't use. We just said, did you use in banking? Any of the trigonometry or whatever we learned? You get the answer from him. You get the answer from him. इस program में जो भी आप learn कर रहे हो, it's not going to be a trigonometry. It's not going to be any algorithm which you're not going to use. It is going to be actually used. So therefore, pay attention to what is being taught. Read more books. Read latest journals which keep coming. I'm sure the university or the school might be subscribing to those journals so that you can make these 2 years which are there really, really worth it. I'm coming to the last couple of points. One is having learned all this, collected lots and lots of dots of knowledge, connecting the dots to each other is another important aspect. जो आप finance में learn कर रहे हो, P&L क्या होता है, P&L की कौन सी lines होती हैं, वो क्यों होती हैं, उसका operation से क्या linkage है, HR का marketing से क्या linkage है, KRA का finally achievement से क्या linkage है, जो HR दिखाता है. All of these dots are all relevant. If you are able to link all of them, I think you are creating a mental picture for your growth going forward. So, last but not the least is execution. I'm a very strong believer in execution. Even now, when you walk into my office, you will find somebody asked me the secret of 9 times increase in the market cap, and I simply say it is execution, execution, and execution. And execution के 4 words हैं मेरे पास. एक है what is to be done, how it is to be done, who will do it, and by when it will happen. What is to be done, how it is to be done, who will do it, and by when it is done. Plan of action is an aggregation of the steps, 1 to step 10th or 20th for any project. If that's clear, and that if you are religiously following, I think you will achieve what you actually created the plan originally. And most of us in the companies fail because we don't have, and sir mentioned about persistent perseverance, to walk through that POA which might last from a day. A POA might be only for a day, to maybe 3 or 4 years, because certain projects take long, at least in pharma. A new product development takes 2.5, 3 years. So 2.5, 3 years, persisting through the POA, making sure that every step of the POA is achieved. Then only you get a new product which gets marketed, and you get huge business coming from the new products. So execution, and my simple mantra is POA, and POA is what, how, who, and when. Last but not the least is, all that is fine. The most important point is the mindset. Mindset पहुंचना है. Mindset दूसरों से inspiration लेना है. Mindset, the glass is half full or half empty. Mindset of not finding fault with others, but finding what can I learn from this guy, which I can incorporate and I can use, so which I can use for my personal growth. Mindset. Last but not the least, my friends, don't think that 2 साल के बाद पढ़ना नहीं पड़ेगा. मेरे दोस्त, पूरी जिंदगी के लिए पढ़ना पड़ेगा. पूरी जिंदगी के लिए पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Imagine when I was the product manager, I used to use the transparency, overhead projector and the transparency that time. Maybe Amal Roy kind of people will know what transparencies I'm meaning. We were using this, and now we have moved to a digital world. I wouldn't have been where I'm standing if I had not learned digital. I'm not as savvy as you would be, but I do have working knowledge so that I can compete with youngsters like you, youngsters like Vijay. Yeah. They all come with the newest learnings, and we old-timers don't have that. Learn, and enjoy learning. Deploy this in your everyday life so that it becomes practice. And with this, I wish all of you good luck. मैं ऐसे छोड़ने वाला नहीं हूँ. आप कुछ चेहरे से रिफ्लेक्ट करेंगे कि आप सो रहे हैं, जाग रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है? I'm talking to the newcomers. ऐसे बोला जाता है क्या? मैं ऐसे लोगों को अपनी कंपनी से तो निकाल दूंगा. First thing is energy. Energy is something which you need to self-generate. So, कुछ आज बोला विजय सर ने और मैंने, सही है कि हम लोग बिजी हैं, ट्रस्ट मी, एटलीस्ट मैं तो बहुत बिजी था, मेरे लिए तो डिफ़िकल्ट था आज का आना। मेरे सिर पर 2-3 कुछ कॉर्पोरेट प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो मुझे कंप्लीट करने हैं। आई एम श्योर विजय के साथ भी यही होगा। बट वी जस्ट लव मीटिंग यू, वी जस्ट थॉट अपनी ज़िंदगी के कुछ भी 2-4 शब्द आपको बताएं और आपको थोड़ा अच्छा लगे, एंड यू आर एबल टू गेट सम लिटिल बिट ऑफ इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम यू। आई थिंक आवर कमिंग ओवर है वुड हैव अचीव द पर्पज। सो ओनली रिफ्लेक्शन आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू इज, कुछ मिला? मेरे आवाज में ज्यादा दम था कि आपकी आवाज में ज्यादा दम है? कुछ मिला? थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक्स एवरीवन फॉर इनवाइटिंग अस।
Thank you, sir, for such a motivating and enriching session. We now request Director, sir, to extend a token of gratitude to sir. Before we conclude, we would like to invite Dean Ma'am for the closing address. We are honored to introduce Ma'am. Madam is a widely traveled management professional with more than 4 decades of experience in various capacities as director, dean, professor, consultant, and corporate trainer. Ma'am has represented the institute while signing MOUs for academic collaborations with several foreign universities, including the Swiss School of Management, Switzerland, NI Business School, Spain, Lincoln University, USA, and Leaders University, Australia. In 2022, Ma'am was interviewed by SALT, a finance startup, and also the Big FM show for highlighting the changing landscape in B-School education today. Her interview with IMS on ways to shortlist the right B school was viewed by several thousands of MBA aspirants in February 2023. She is the recipient of several prestigious awards, with the most recent ones in the fields of innovation and leadership. These awards presented to Ma'am in 2023 include Innovative Education Leader Award, Mumbai's Woman Leader Award, and Special Leader Award presented by the Wings of Women. The most recent one is the award for the Outstanding Dean in Higher Education, received on 12th of April 2024. Can we have a round of applause for Dean Ma'am? Requesting Ma'am to kindly address all of us.
Thank you so much, Nidhi and Tanvi, for introducing me with such kind and wonderful words. The inspiration that we are going to take away from one Yugal Sikri sir and Mr. Vijay Chandok sir is going to remain with us for years to come. I can assure all of you that in the last 5.5 years that I've spent here at the Institute, I have personally never felt so charged and energized the way I felt today. My heartfelt gratitude to both these wonderful speakers. Do not go where the path leads, rather go where there is no path and leave a trail. That is the takeaway. The takeaway of dreaming big, of trying to execute the plan. The spirit, the fire that you have in your belly is what both of these wonderful speakers from the industry have not just highlighted, but they have spoken with such energy and enthusiasm that I'm sure all of us are going to feel really inspired after today. So again, another round of applause for both of them, please. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. My heartfelt gratitude to our chairman and founder trustee, Dr. Harish Chandra Mishra ji, wherein I think both our industry speakers, together with Dr. Suresh sir, we enjoyed a cup of tea before entering here. A truly inspirational person, a leader par excellence, who has driven us to create a structure, a process wherein education is not just about learning things in the classroom, but going beyond the classroom. The inspiration of the pedagogy that we use has come from our chairman, sir. So my thanks to him. My heartfelt gratitude to Sri Ashish Mishra ji, who is all along, day in, day out with us, bears with us, with all the requests that we keep coming up with to bring about innovation for all our dynamic students for the future, and also to Sri Aditya Mishra sir, who is a trustee who takes a lot of interest in the way in which we are trying to make things happen here. I would want to now thank my colleague, the worthy head of the entire institution, that is ASBM, Dr. Suresh sir, for his energy and enthusiasm. My heartfelt thanks to all my wonderful faculty colleagues, and I think we have already introduced them just 2 days ago. I would like to hear a roaring round of applause for all these faculty mentors. Wonderful people, wonderful professionals and human beings. I think the seniors have really worked very hard the entire year. So a round of applause for all these senior students who are here, all these students who are dressed in the proper professional attire because you have your uniforms, right? Can we just hear it for them? Once again, they are your buddy mentors. I would be failing in my duty if I do not thank all the administrative staff. To begin with, the two leaders, these two ladies, who are actually leading the entire Aditya group of institutions from the front, Dr. Jayanti, our registrar, and Ms. Seema Kedia, the administrative officer. The administrative staff is supported by the IT department, by the library, by the computers that we have installed along with the softwares. We also have several other departments, HR, accounts, and many more. I think one thing that we would want each of you to remember is you have to respect everyone on campus, starting from the security in charge at the gate to people who are sitting in the trust office, everybody, because everybody is going to be meaningful in this wonderful journey. So a round of applause for all the peons, security guards, the non-teaching staff. Can we hear it louder for these people? Today, after having gone through this long session of inspiration from our wonderful speakers this morning, what I can see on your faces gives me the hope that all of you are going to make it real big. You're going to not just dream big, but you're going to execute big. And we are going to keep our promises to both these wonderful speakers by taking away the important lessons that they have given to us and given you the guidelines to plot your career graph. So please don't look at your PGDM just as a course which has to be completed. Sir has said it beautifully, not just like a checkbox exercise that has to be initiated by you, but as a takeaway for a career to be built both professionally as well as personally. So all the best to all these wonderful students. Thank you very much.
I think I need to thank my friend and colleague, Dr. Sunita Srivastav, who also happens to be my inspiration, and the foundation for this wonderful institution. The legacy which she's given it to me, I think she has put in more than 5.5 years of hard work. Thank you very much, ma'am. I think I'll be failing in my duty if I don't thank you personally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Let us have a round of applause for the successful inauguration of the PGDM batch 24-26. This is me, Nidhi Goradia, and my co-host Tanvi Kadam signing off for today. We request everyone to kindly come ahead for a group photograph. Thank you.